All right. Anyways, hey, we're back to Scumbagger, Scoundrel.
Welcome back,
Welcome
everyone.
back, my friends. We got a very funny comedian. I'm pretty excited to have you on, Isabella Campbell.
Thanks. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. You're Toronto-based.
Toronto-based.
Your whole
Toronto-born.
life, right? Like you've
Yeah.
been here your whole life. You were at Etobicoke, I think, though. Is that where you grew up?
No, I grew up in Parkdale, and I just moved. My
Parkdale.
mom moved to Etobicoke like 5 years ago.
Etobicoke. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
so I'm a real West End ting.
Yeah, right on. West End ting. That's I thought that was more of a Scarborough.
No, Scarborough's east.
Oh, I
It's
see.
the east side.
No, yeah, but I thought talking like that was Scarborough.
Oh no, it's everywhere.
Oh, okay. All right, well, shows how much I fucking know about this city.
Yeah. Honestly, we have a lot of dialects here.
I know. So I don't know how you been. You said you seem to be okay. This COVID thing hasn't been hitting you too hard.
Honestly, like I'm a very big homebody, so
Yeah.
I definitely thrived in during
hermit.
COVID. I don't want to say thrived because obviously like other people were going through shit.
Yeah.
But and I had I had a couple of weeks where
Sure.
where I was like, oh God, everything's so morose. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I did pretty well.
Okay.
And
All
I
right.
love serve.
Yeah, well, exactly. We were talking about that last episode of like how this is crazy that me not working has made me the most financially stable I think I've ever been.
It's actually
That's
it's really
bonkers.
messed up. Like
Yeah.
I can't even wrap my head around it. And maybe
Yeah.
it's like, I don't know if it's because like I haven't been going out and like for food all the time or
well,
doing
that's another big
things.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm like, wow, like I really like, holding on to this like little pocket of money and like saving it
Yeah.
and like
It feels so good.
it feels
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah.
It feels so I feel
You're
like,
going into tax-free savings,
know.
baby.
Start making
know.
investments and all.
Yeah.
I know, like
Yeah.
index funds. Like,
know.
am I like an investor? Like, I don't know. I haven't done anything yet, but I'm going to.
Yeah, same. Me too.
Maybe.
Down the road. Well, I'm gonna wait till tax season and see how much I fucking owe because I think they're
Yeah, I
they're taking
know.
30% back or something like that
I
from the
know.
serve.
I think it was just a regular tax rate.
I
was
hope
it?
so.
I thought
I
I,
have
heard.
no
I don't know. I really don't know
idea.
what's going on right now. Like I don't know what's
Yeah.
happening.
Welcome to socialism,
Yeah.
bro. No one knows.
Freaking socialist, goddamn commies.
But I honestly think I'm gonna make this like the same or less amount of money that I made. Like, cause I only worked I worked in a restaurant, so my hourly was low, and I'd only work really for tips. So then, like for 3 months before everything shut down, like I don't think I'm gonna make that much money. So I don't know how much I'm gonna have to owe. So
Yeah.
let's hope I stay in the tax bracket.
Yeah, that's another big thing. Is like I hope my friends out there, you're putting some of that syrup away because you might get fucking burned if you spend it all now.
Oh
Like,
yeah, I don't like
it's-
touching it. I
Yeah.
just like
I
looking
know.
at it.
I
Makes you
know.
nervous.
It goes just for
Yeah.
rent, but that's another thing too. Is like I think we're all saving so much money by just not being out all the time.
For
Like,
sure.
I buy a case of beer, $40 or whatever. That is easily spent on 4 beers in one night, kind of a thing.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
so like,
Yeah.
and that lasts me 8 times as long or whatever. So
sure.
I think that's been a big thing for me.
And
not
like
as much taking.
cooking, like I like cooking now.
Yeah,
have
I don't
fun
mind it.
doing it.
Yeah, it's not so bad. It's kind of fun.
It's kind of fun. It's like
Especially when you make something good.
Oh,
And
yeah.
You're like, man.
Yeah, see, that's where I fall off. I never enjoy my food. My girlfriend pretends to like it. I'm like, oh, yeah, those are the
It's
best
very
green beans you've
polite,
ever had?
Yeah.
Sure.
Hey, you know what? Those are really good. How about you let me do it next time? Though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, how about we take turns, but like 2 to 1, like.
yeah. I'll cook more often. You do. Yeah, I've also been stealing some recipes from my sister because like she's an incredible cook, and I'll go home every now and then during this weird time and eat there, and I'm always like, yo,
Oh,
how'd
I
you
could
make
use
this?
this
How'd
in
you make?
Toronto.
Yeah, I was like, how'd you make this? I was like, what is this all about? She's like, what? This is so easy. It just starts fucking listing all the shit on me. I was like, I would have never thought of that.
I
what
know.
cumin is? What the fuck?
Yeah, what?
There's salt and pepper and
Yeah.
paprika, but I've never seen that, so I don't know if it's real.
Yeah, I hear about this paprika, but I don't know what it is. Yeah, that was another like when this all started. I literally went to the grocery store and just like picked up every spice available.
Oh,
Just so I was like,
yeah.
anytime that I need to make something, I'm like, this recipe says I should use this. Fuck yeah, I got
For
it.
sure. Going
Yeah.
spice shopping is the best because you're like, oh, wow, I don't actually have to like think about it ever again.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Yeah, it lasts so long.
And for sure.
It's great. I was like, why have I been cooking so bland for so long? I was like, I don't need to pick up this. And now my food tastes like shit always.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, just get the $2 bag of spice and then have good food.
Yeah, I get a no-name thing of paprika
Literally.
and you're set to
And
go.
it never goes bad.
No.
And it's just there forever. Like,
Forever.
it takes you like a year to get rid of one of those bags.
See, if my food's going wrong, I just throw some fucking butter at it. I'm
Yeah.
like,
Butter does change it.
This'll
does.
help,
Butter's
right?
big.
You know?
Yeah.
They use so much butter in restaurants, it's crazy. So I'm like, you might as well just do it.
Yeah.
And like, can't be that bad for you.
Yeah. So you're it can't be. Hey, if restaurants are doing it, can't be that bad.
Yeah, it can't be that bad for you.
So you're doing okay. Obviously, you're not doing too much comedy right now with everything.
Not
being
too
shut down.
much, but I've done a couple like filming stuff and some
Good.
writing. Stand
Right. Sorry,
Yeah.
go on.
Yeah, stand-up's been kind of difficult, but yeah, I've been filming like and stuff like that, which has been really fun.
You've been writing and directing commercials for Greece,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken.
No, it's like
Omni
ancient
2.
Greek.
What is it? Omni 1, Omni 2. Check it out.
Honestly, I think all the Omni International channels.
so
I cannot
funny.
believe that that's a thing.
That's really funny.
But yeah, so it's been pretty fun. I didn't. My brother's like a film guy, so he's the one directing them. So I write them. So we're kind of like a brother sister duo at the moment.
The
which is
power.
make my mother proud.
Yeah.
For having
those
2
are
kids
my
in the
boys.
arts.
Yeah.
In the biz.
Yeah,
Writing
the biz.
Greek commercials.
Yeah.
Oh my
I feel like
god.
live my ancient
Yeah.
Greek fetish.
Yeah.
paper.
And you also went to Humber, like myself. That's
Mm-hmm.
how did you feel? Because we had Dean on last week, and he wasn't particularly thrilled about the program. But how do you feel about the program as a whole? Do you get a lot out of it, or do you feel like I don't know, you didn't really need to do it?
I think I think I met a lot of great people, like like-minded people and great collaborators. I think that's probably the most enriching thing I got out of it. But I do think that like it should have been program should have been put in the oven for like another 10 years for it. Like I wish I could come back, return in 10 years, and then see it like kind of like at its best. But it just felt like a little bit like.
Imagine how some of the
underdone.
first people that went to that program feel.
Yeah,
Looking at us being
I
like,
know.
yo, you guys got to go on Second City,
Yeah,
do yucks.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing that I thought about is like, yeah, okay, it's college, it's going to be very expensive, but I got to do some of the things that I would have never had the opportunity to do.
Yeah.
To do a yuck showcase in front of 500 people,
It's, like,
I would have never
great.
had that
I
opportunity
know.
to do that. To do a show with Mark McKinney at Second City,
Yeah.
I would have never been able to do that had I not been in this program.
I know, that's the best part.
Yeah.
It really gives you like a stage to do things, and then
It gives you a platform, and then you understand how the industry kind of works,
Yeah.
and how you got to grind to bug people and get your stage time, blah blah blah, instead of just being like, "Well, I'm funny, book me." Like that's
Yeah.
not how this works, man. It's a very unforgiving world out there, especially
For
in the
sure.
arts, right?
And it teaches you punctuality, which was a hard lesson for me to learn
Yeah.
first year when I was 18. But also like it really like it also like if you're going into it and you're like, oh, I like comedy, like I want to do this for a living, but then by the end of it you're like, do I actually still like it? And so that's why there's only like a couple people who are still doing it from each class.
Dude, we had one of the strongest years, and we only have like 5 people remaining.
I know,
of
I know.
like
It's
60,
like-
and that wasn't even that long
you guys
ago.
did have one of the strongest years,
Yeah.
and it's
and it's
interesting.
still nobody's really doing it anymore.
I can count the people in my year who are on my right hand who still do it. You know what I mean? Like
That's usually how it goes, because like that people are like, oh, comedy program, I'll go in there, make some easy money, tell some jokes, and it's like, no, there's no easy money. You're in Canada, first of all,
Especially,
bitch. There's no money here at all.
Yeah.
And then it's like, yeah, so then they jump into that, and it is interesting to be like, and then the amount of people that you know they had fun in the program, they're like, oh, this is gonna be great, and then they step out into the real world of comedy and go, oh my
I
god,
know.
this is hard.
It's
Like,
hard. It's unforgiving.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you don't have teachers going to bat for you, putting you on stage, giving you stage time that you need. You know, like
It's
it's
all
like
you.
you didn't have to try. Like for me to get stage time, I didn't have to try. It was literally an assignment.
Yeah.
Being like, get up there.
go to
like,
Second City today. And
yeah,
do this,
you're doing your
or Go
thing,
to Comedy
bud.
Bar and do the sketch show.
Where it's
like,
now, like I don't even know who I would have to suck off to get on the Second City stage.
I
Like
know.
it's I don't
Starts
even know how
right
I go
here,
about
buddy.
it. Yeah. Ugh.
I'm gonna make you a star, Isaac.
Yeah.
A Star is
nightmare.
born.
Yeah. And then we also, so yeah, you went to Humber. We've known each other for a while. We worked at the same workplace
Medieval
as well.
times.
Wow. Okay, go ahead and say
Alum.
it. Yeah, that place.
We'll edit that
sucked.
out. We don't want to
Yeah,
give
we'll
them
edit that out.
any
Rhymes
clout.
with shit, evil crimes.
Yeah.
That,
Shed Evil Crime. That's what we'll call
that,
it.
that one was the fucking worst.
Crazy place to work.
Yeah, it was
Crazy.
insane. A lot of horse poop in people's foods.
Don't tell the secrets about.
I'm sorry,
good
never mind.
taste.
The milk and cream never went bad.
That's what's in that
Um,
stuffing.
Yeah, I was wondering what that was. I think yeah. So I think that brings us to the first part because like I especially wanted to get you on because I know you're a pretty wild cat when the booze gets flowing and
Yeah.
we were talking about your hilarious dead eye. You get you
Yeah.
turn into a whole other animal. So I wanted to know. You know, I was like Isabella for sure has some pretty fun stories. I don't know what any of these are. This will be the first time hearing it. Oh, sirens. This will be the first time hearing it. I say you know let her howl, let her rip. What do you got for me?
All right. Let's think about. Well, how about I talk about my first time? So I definitely partied a lot through high school.
Hell yeah, you did.
Like going to like an art school downtown was just like a recipe for disaster if you want half your brain cells gone.
Yeah.
Not, I mean, my school is great, but
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
So-
hey, quit bad mouthing our art school.
yeah. Like so, I think that it just really sculpted me into like I've gotten better with it now at the ripe age of 23, but I honestly partied enough to last me like 15 years. Like, you know, doing shrooms the day that my 6 concussions got cleared and just altering the way I think when I'm high all the time. Like I can't smoke weed anymore without literally thinking like oh my God, like I'm a bad person, but I'm not.
Yeah.
So
yeah, the brain got altered down the road.
It really
there.
did. Like now I'm like,
what did you get the concussions from? Can I like?
Oh, I played
rugby, football,
soccer. I played competitive
okay.
soccer. This is kind of like where it went from like,
conkies in soccer. You guys are crazy. What were you doing to each other?
I just like it was just like I was center defense, so a ball that was coming 60 feet out of the air, I'd have to head it out of the air. And I was good with that, but then I got a little concussion just like at school, and then after that, every time I had the ball, I got another concussion until like I was off for 2 months from school. It was bad.
Just forget a little more and more math every
exactly.
time.
It's funny how that
I can't remember anything from my grade 10 year.
Really?
Yeah, that's how bad it was.
Jesus.
But when I was 19, it was my first time going to Montreal as like an adult and not like on a grad trip. And I have this persona when I get drunk. It's like an alter ego. I call her Dark Bella. It's my friend's call her because it's like I shut down and she comes out. You know what I mean? And she's fucked up. Like she doesn't give a shit whether she lives or dies. It's literally like it's Joker level shit, you know.
I was literally saying to Ed, it's Jekyll and Hyde. It's very much that. I was like, I don't know, I blacked out and became this whole other person.
It's insane. Like I didn't really like it. I see it in like comedy sketches, and I was like, yeah, sure, that happens. It's like no, it actually has been happening to me for a while. So I think her first big appearance as an adult was I went to Montreal for my friend's birthday, and I for some reason, I guess I just wasn't, it was like, I was there to party. So I had like a 2-6 of tequila and I ended up like just chugging it back. Which I can't even do. Like hard liquor, I can't do straight, but I was just chugging it back. And I remember, last thing I remember before we left to go to all these pre-parties before the party at the bar was literally sitting in the sink, taking a sip, and then just vomiting everything into my hand, but then just like wiping it off, and then be like, okay, I'm fine.
Yeah, the old puke and rally.
Puke and rally, but then that's the last thing I remember. So I wake up the next day, and I get all the events of the night, recounted for me. So basically, like, I leave, and I'm wearing this like outfit that's kind of like too small for me, and like I'm like a fucking double D, so I'm like walking on the street, and I'm already like belligerent, and I'm just like screaming at every car that comes, like, you wanna fuck me? And I kept on like ripping my shirt off and bare tits just like going like this, like that.
You were like maneuvering,
like literally like whipping them around, and everyone's like, stop it, and like I'm meeting all my
just juggling the cans. That's so
juggling
funny.
them, like, and I'm meeting all of my high school friends, like college friends, for like the first time. This is their first time.
They're meeting only Dark Bella.
Only Dark Bella. And so I remember like walking down the street, and I'm also wearing these heels that like I can't walk in. Like I'd fall over all the time. So then I remember we were walking to the first like pre-party, and this car runs by, and he's like, "Hey, sexy," and I'm like, "Hey, you wanna fuck?" And then my fucking heel slips out, like breaks. I literally fall to the ground, bang my head off the sidewalk and into the road, and I lie back, and my tits are just out, and they literally like reverse to laugh at me.
They came back and looked you in the eyes and go, "Hey man, you okay?"
Yeah, they're not even cackling. Like, "Hey, are you good?"
Yeah, like, what's up, man? You've been abusing me all night.
You got fucked by life.
I did. I feel these two friends of mine, Kayla and Alora, I really owe them my life, but also like money, because I was terror to them. At one point, I see like a spider on the ground, and it's like dark. I don't know how I saw it, but I was like, "Oh my God, Kayla, that's a spider." She's like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "It's so cute, and you're so cute. It's like a double standard." She's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And then we get to the pre-party. I'm flashing these people my tits. I don't know them. I can't keep my tits in my shirt.
You're for sure the life of the party, though. Everybody loves it.
Yeah, exactly. They're like laughing. I'm like, I'm just like performing at this point. And then apparently I was like, they were like, "Hey, you need to have a cigarette. You need to do something." Like, so they kept on giving me cigarettes. I let 4 in a row backwards until they're like, "Stop."
You just keep putting
you just keep fucking it up. I love that nobody was like, "Hey, all right, let me just do this for you."
Yeah.
And at one point, like, they're, it's Montreal, so they're trying to give me like, can I say Coke?
Sure, yeah, of
Okay.
course.
Anything you want, don't worry.
They're trying to give me like a line, like a blow, and then I'm still kind of new to it, but I'm like laughing every time, so I'm spraying it everywhere.
Oh man,
and
I
that's
would be
not
so
mine.
mad.
Oh,
I'd be
man.
like, that is the most expensive drug in the world.
I know.
Every time you laugh, it's just $80.
I know,
$80.
I know.
$80.
All right, I
So,
might as well
like-
just start ripping up 20s in front of people. Like,
It was literally like that. I was just wasting money and cackling as I was doing it.
yeah.
So finally, they're like, okay, we don't even know if we're gonna get into this club or whatever.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't let you in.
I get to the club and I'm there, and my friend's there, and with all her friends, the one that it's her birthday for, and I'm like belligerent. I'm just like headbutting people on the fucking dance floor. I'm like right next to the DJ thing, and I'm spilling my drink on his probably like $10,000 equipment, and I got kicked out. Obviously.
Are you intentionally spilling?
No, I'm
your
just
drink?
like
Okay, you're
dancing, but I'm like, it's like I spent a whole
Okay,
run of
thank God.
coke. I'm
That's
just
so
like bumping
funny.
into it.
Yeah.
My friend, and I'm like, I'm sweating. My
Oh, yeah.
eyes are just like no green. It's just all black. I'm just like yelling at people. I'm like, I look like I'm on like 20 different kinds of, and I'm not. I'm just truly wasted. And they're all like kind of scared of me.
You're intimidating
I'm
as
really,
fuck when
when
you
I'm
get
like that,
dark
I'm
out.
like a fucking like I'm truly like the thing of nightmares, like
Yeah.
visually, like it
Yeah.
looks scary.
Yeah.
And so I get kicked out, and I'm sitting in a pile of trash because I'm like, I have to say happy birthday to Charlotte, which I did 40 times throughout the night. And I'm just like, and Laura and Kayla are like, Bella, you're so annoying right now. Like, please, like, we just need to go home. And I'm sitting in trash, like in trash. And then I'm like,
Like just bags of garbage on the street, or like in a
like no, in garbage next to the bar. Like the bar is trash, like empty beer cans, like in
you're
garbage bags.
sitting.
And they're like, get up, and I'm like, no, I'm not getting up. I'm staying in the trash.
Fight it,
Classic
fight it.
drunk person being like, whatever you say, I'm not.
I'm
Oh,
staying in
God.
this garbage.
Yeah, and then Charlotte comes out with everyone, and I run up to them sprinting, like, and they're like, didn't you get kicked out? I'm like, happy birthday, and she's like, thanks, I'll see you later. I was like, did what I had to do.
Yeah, I got that in.
So this is the most fucked part. So they call the Uber, and they've been taking care of my ass all night, like literally holding me, like. And so Alora is helping me into the Uber, and Kayla's getting into the front seat, and I get in, and as Alora's climbing in, I look back, scissor kick her out of the car. She falls into the street. I slam the door, and I'm just grinning at her. I'm just like grinning, and then I'm like, I give her like a wink, like I'm like,
Yeah,
and then we start driving. We start driving, and then after 10 seconds, I'm like, wait, we forgot our friend.
you didn't forget anybody. You
I
kicked
know.
that person
I think-
out.
So
I
funny.
I think I completely forgot that I did that, because I was
Yeah.
like, where's Alora?
Yeah, like a little hint of regular Bella comes back and goes, "Oh my God, my friend's not here."
Yeah.
They go, "Wait, you're like Smeagol."
Oh, yeah.
And
No.
then it's just like,
Truly, and then foaming at the mouth. Like, I'm so drunk, and then Kayla's like looks back, and we just see Alora sprinting after the car.
he's still there. That's awesome.
And so and then we let her in. She's like, Bella, kick me out of the fucking car. I'm like, no, I didn't.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and then I woke up the next morning, and I felt real bad. I bought them breakfast, but
Yeah.
I was like in trouble for like a week. Kayla, I mostly to Alora, because I literally kicked her out of the
Yeah,
car.
yeah,
like,
I've been
with my
pretty mad at you.
feet. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, so but she forgives me now. So that was probably one of my worst. And there's like the thing is, they didn't know this is the worst part. They didn't know that I was taking photos, but I was posting photo after photo of my tits on my Instagram story and my Snapchat. I still have it in my memories. And
You didn't get rid of them. You didn't
Yeah.
delete the evidence.
And I like saw people and then the next day I was like kind of went out. I was like, hey, I'm being really good. And then I
Yeah.
saw people that I don't even know too well that just like went to neighboring high schools that live
Right.
there, and we have a lot of mutual friends. And
Right.
they're like, hey, I didn't know you were in Montreal. I saw your tits all over Snapchat. I'm like, I didn't even have you on Snapchat. Not good.
remember
But
seeing
I also popped a blood vessel in my eye that whole
From
weekend.
going for sure from yelling
From
so hard.
yelling and throwing up. Like I had like a big red.
Red
My
spot.
whole eye was like blood red for
Oh,
like
man.
a month. So yeah, that was definitely my most memorable drunk Bella moments.
Man, I tell
Dark
you.
Bella.
I mean, I've had a couple encounters with Dark Bella, but that is like,
Yeah, that's when she first came out. She's ready to play.
yeah, she was really ready to play. She was fucking bonkers. Yeah, just gonna hit that. Ed, is that okay? That's
Yeah, I think it's just my screen.
okay. Yeah, that your alter ego when you're drunk. It's so like, I want to say scumbag, but here's the thing: is like I empathize with it so much because I am very similar in a lot of ways of like
I've seen
You're-
dark. Isaac
Oh,
before.
big time.
Dark Isaac has
comes
made
out.
so many appearances.
Oh
Dark
my
Isaac
God.
is dangerous.
He's dangerous.
Man.
He's
He is
hilarious.
I'm
He's
glad he
like-
liked me. You're almost nicer to me than when you're drunk.
Yeah,
I
because I love you.
I do feel like I'm your little sidekick. Like I'm
Walking
gonna.
around just letting me do stupid shit.
It's like, okay, buddy, come on. Let's. The flashing lights are moving.
Big
Let's
time.
get out.
And so
of here.
I like, and so that's why I like when I'm hearing this, I'm like, oh woof. I'm like, man, because like I'm feeling the anxiety for your friends of like dealing with that person. I'm
Yeah.
like, I have done that to so
Oh,
many
for
of my friends. Where
sure.
they're like, dude, you're intolerable. Stop it. What is wrong with you? You're
I
like,
remember when Dark Isaac's like made eye contact with me before. I'm like, oh fuck. Like, stumble over. And you do that spit thing that you used to do that was really like
Oh
where
my-
you don't actually spit, like you like the.
yeah, I go.
Yeah.
It's like not even a fleck of spit comes, but you're just doing that. And I have like friends who had never met you before like, around me, and they're like,
so
their
embarrassed.
jaws were on the floor. They're like, hey, fuck you, stop doing that. And you're like,
When I was a kid, when I was an underage, but I got into the Lazy Duck in Sarnia. We were partying there, and I did that to one of my friends there, and this guy tried fighting me so hard. But I was like, again, I was so hammered that I didn't care, and I just kept looking at him, and smiling and grinning, and then I'd go look back at her and go, and I'd do it again. What the fuck, bro? You want to go inside right now? And she was like, okay, relax. Like, it's all a
my
joke. Like,
God.
and I just like, I'm not saying a word going. And I was like, fuck off, man.
That's so funny.
I don't know, Ed. What do you think? Like so again, you have a close personal time with Dark Isaac too. So when you hear Dark Bella, I feel like you're talking to a friend. You know.
Yeah.
I
this
know
person.
Dark
It's
Isaac.
a version of
Yeah.
it.
I'm gonna say you're a scoundrel. You know.
I think I'm a scoundrel.
So the kicking your friend out of a cab though. I don't know if I've ever done that.
That's
Like,
a good
pretty.
one.
That's pretty scummy.
That's a great prank.
I think the whole thing is scoundrel, but then at that point, especially when you're like drunk and you just want to get home, and you're like, you've already tolerated this
Someone kicked
nightmare of a
Yeah.
person all night long,
and then
you're like, I just want to go back to the hotel or wherever we're going. Like
Yeah.
the night's over, let's just finish this up, and then you get into the cab, and you just get hoofed in the side, and you're on the street in your ass, like. I'm losing my mind. I'm
Oh,
like
yeah.
I'm gonna kill her. I'm going to kill her.
I think I was like in a headlock or something. Honestly, like I think that the thing is about. I think I have like an inherent like kind of mischief about me. Like I'm pretty
pranky when you're drunk.
Yeah, I'm pretty mischievous.
Yeah.
But then with that, like where I'm just like I'm not dormant. Like my conscious mind is just completely gone for this like thing to come out of me. I feel like she does it in the name of like being a scoundrel, being like impish, but it ends up being like
Too far.
like truly like evil. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean?
big time. Well, and so that was another thing that I was going to talk because I mean, especially when Dark Isaac and Dark Bella get together, they just have chug offs and they just drink way too much all the time. So
it gets worse.
It gets way worse. So like what I was going to say too is like you, like me, can drink way too much.
Yeah.
And so what ends up happening for us is consistently, because most people when they hit this point of being arrogantly drunk, they just pass out. They just go to bed. Like they can't. But our body can still handle the ongoing flow of alcohol coming into it. So our brain shut off.
Yeah.
But we stay alive.
For
and
sure.
that's why it's like there's been so many times where I'm like, why didn't I just go to bed?
I know.
It's like, but I can't. Like my brain just goes, fuck it, we're partying, and I don't remember anything. And it's just because everybody else will watch me and be like, dude, I don't know how you didn't like just pass out and go to bed. Like that was like that New Year's Eve party. I woke up the next day completely blacked out after having like 4 bottles of like huge things of wine.
Oh, wow.
I woke up. Blood all over my hands, all over my
Oh,
sweater,
yeah, I
and I had
remember
like a
that.
bit of a shiner here, and I was like, so like I didn't remember any of it. I'm still hammered. It's like 2 p.m. I'm still in my roommate's room where she was staying with her friend, and then her boyfriend stayed over there too, and they were like, yo, what happened to your hands? And I'm like, I look at it, I'm like, oh, fuck.
Oh
like,
my
what
God.
did happen? And I have no idea.
I think I heard.
I don't know.
I heard about it because I remember.
Because I didn't have any cuts on my hands, so it wasn't my blood.
No,
that was another thing.
That's
Oh, I thought that you
so
hit,
scary
like,
to
a
wake up to.
telephone pole
No,
or
see
something.
that was what my thought was. I was like, okay, it makes sense that I would just punch inanimate objects. That's who I am.
Seen
That's
it
what I
done
did.
tons of times.
Yeah,
by the
I
Dark
heard,
Isaac.
but then that's why I was like, oh, and then I washed off my hands. There wasn't a single cut or scratch in sight, and I was like, and I didn't have cuts on my eyes. I had no cuts on my body to be found.
Whoa, that is
So I was
scary.
like, that's fucked up. I was
Yeah.
like, dude, because what I guarantee happened roaming around Kensington, some guy saw me. Because when I get that drunk, I go for adventures. I just disappear, and I'm like, and I'm sure some guy was like, okay, drunko, like, fuck it. That's what I'm imagining happening, and I was like, what the fuck are you saying to me? And I just like swung at him. I don't know. But clearly I'd been hit too, because I remember having like a bump, or maybe I just wiped out and hit the ground. I have no idea. I really don't know. I have no idea what happened.
That's like a where it's like, oh, it's like a mystery.
I know.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, I gotta cut back on the. Now I actually genuinely only drink light beer right now. That I'm like, I don't want to get that
Oh,
drunk
for
ever
sure.
again. Yeah.
And it's just like the way not feeling, like not knowing what happened. It's just like disgusting.
Not having, yeah.
And it's
just
like a
so
couple
gross.
days to recover, you know?
Yeah,
I
the
feel like-
hangover lasts.
Yeah. But the thing is, I think Dark Bella, like I'm not a very, it's hard for me to get angry. Like I'm never angry as a person. So it doesn't manifest in like anger, but it manifests in just like being like a fucking like cheeky asshole.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
but where I can be violent, like kicking someone out of an Uber.
Yeah,
Of a moving car.
You have
Because I
the
think it's
ability
funny,
to do
you know?
But in your mind, it's not ever malicious. It's like, this is pranky,
Yeah.
but you're so far gone that
Where
what
it's
you
like-
consider pranky, other people would consider malicious.
Completely malicious. Like I can't believe it.
I definitely resonate with that. That's
For
really
sure.
fun. That's,
I go so the other way when I get drunk and go dark. I'm just like, everybody here hates you, man. Why don't you just go to the bathroom and fucking be sad?
Oh, really?
And so I'm that guy at the party, like, where'd Ed go? And I come out of the bathroom, I'm like, I'm fine.
I'm
I'm
just
gonna
like-
go home, dude.
See
Yeah.
that's a guy that's more like we're casting our insecurities, whereas you're like
Yeah.
you've
I
found
know
this,
I'm-
like,
I know I'm
like
sad.
these people hate me. I'm gonna fuck with them.
Yeah.
Like, that was
Yeah.
like,
I'm like, these people hate me. I should just leave. I don't want to bug anybody.
Yeah.
I don't want to
so
ruin
sad.
anybody's night, dude.
and
Oh,
next time,
that's
man,
sad.
next time you're
I
drinking,
really
I'm
get
gonna
the
keep my
high.
eye out for you. Be like, where's Ed? Where's Ed? Every
Yeah.
10 minutes. Is he in the washroom?
Probably just
And
in
you
the
gotta give like a
washroom, dude.
hype.
I'd be like, Ed, you're the man. You're the man. You're the man.
With your different dark personas, you would make a great like duo,
Duo.
on like a
Yeah,
movie.
dude, we haven't gotten drunk together enough, honestly.
Yeah.
Really, we haven't really.
We don't.
A few
we don't have
times,
that.
but-
there's been a couple of times. Well, usually it's me getting really drunk at your shows and making an asshole.
Yeah, which is a different thing because then I'm going into fucking damage control where
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to come back here.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, exactly. Like, yeah, you have dark eyes. You'd be like,
Ready to
what's
fucking
that? Like you
throw
ready to
glass?
fucking break some shit?
Or you're just like, I see a stage. I'm Isaac.
Yeah. I'm taking it.
I should be up there. And then I'm like playing. I'm like, get the fuck down.
Get away from me.
Oh my god, the stress I would feel.
Or I
What's
steal
one-
everything.
Yeah.
Like I'm a huge klepto when I'm drunk. I
Yeah.
can't stop. I have
Oh,
to steal
man.
everything that I come across. You had an open house sign in your apartment for like months because I
Yeah,
was
because
like,
I'm gonna walk home one night.
Yeah.
Isaac's like, "Let's fucking, I'm taking this sign, dude." And
Yeah.
then I just stayed in my apartment.
And then Rachel
until I moved out.
Rachel just sent me a Snapchat too, how she's like finally got rid of your grocery cart because I had like hammered the one time I just brought a grocery
my
cart home.
God.
And then she was like, "Why is this here?" And I was like,
Oh my
It's like-
god.
and it just sat in our storage space for like a year and a half, and
Holy
then and then I
shit.
moved out, and then she was like, look what I'm getting rid of today." And our apartment was like a basement, and the door was so narrow. I don't even know how I got it down there.
You
She was
got
like,
it in there?
I got it in there, and she was
Holy
like, "Dude, I
Oh,
can't."
man.
She's like, it took me like an hour and a half to get this out of the apartment. I was so mad.
Oh
I was
my
Dude,
like,
I love that.
I'm so
I
sorry.
love that.
She just left it for the next people.
I know. That's what I would have done. That's what I was thinking. I was like, "Fuck it, this could stay here forever. I don't give a shit."
That'd
That'd be
Nice.
so funny. Someone shows up and they're like, "There's a shopping cart."
There's a,
over
Yeah.
why
here."
is there a shopping cart?
And,
in here?
yeah, and you had such a narrow door. I remember trying to get a fucking like computer chair through, and the legs at the bottom were too wide. And I remember
Oh.
being like, "God."
yeah, everything.
A narrow door is the worst.
So my futon to get down there, there's like there's a stability bar that kind of holds it so it doesn't bend in the middle. You know what I mean? So like you can have multiple weight, and then it's welded to the metal frame so it can have more additional support. I had to literally snap that off. to get it
Holy
in.
shit.
Because that was like
How do you do
that's what
that?
it was getting me off. So I was like, because that was the only thing that I couldn't fit through. Like we had it like as perfect as it could be, but I was like, there's literally all I need is another inch and a half to get this thing through. And I was like, fuck it. So I just started ragging on it and yanked it off. And then we didn't have a stability bar on our futon and then it ended up buckling. It did over time, and then I threw it out.
fuck.
Yeah. Well, whatever. I got it for nothing. I didn't really care, but it was like, fuck. Man.
Damn.
I had to literally break things to get it into that tiny ass apartment.
And it's weird. Sometimes I'm like, okay, can I get this in through like a certain angle? Like, you know when you kind of like do like a twist and then another twist,
Mm-hmm.
but it's like some shit you just can't. It's just like especially when you're moving in, you have like a fucking $800 couch that you
Yeah.
probably bought for like $200 or whatever,
Yeah.
and then it's like perfect, and you can't get it into your apartment. Like that's my
Yeah.
worst fear every time. I
It
do
is literally we had to throw out Rachel's couch from her parents. Like she was conceived on that couch. I think was the old
Oh my
folklore.
God.
It was like and it was like so we were gonna bring it in, and then like as soon because she hired a bunch of movers. I moved in before she hired a bunch of movers, and then as they were grabbing it, I looked at it. I was like, that's not going downstairs.
Heartbreaking.
She's like, well, can we just try? And I'm like, you can do whatever the fuck you want because you got movers. Like you're paying them. I don't care, but that's not going in. I promise you that.
Oh.
They went. The guy literally walked down the alleyway, looked at the door, and he looks back and goes.
Oh.
So we just left it on the curb.
Oh
But
no.
yeah, I was like, that was it. I was like, well, her parents aren't gonna come from fucking Kingston or whatever to come pick up an old ass couch. Like, but it was too bad because it was a really big, nice, comfortable couch.
Ugh. I love a couch.
Anyways, I think that brings us to our part one. Because you said you have another one, right?
Yeah, it's a two-parter kind of.
Oh,
Okay, hey man,
beautiful.
whatever. I'm down. That was a very fun story. I love hearing about Dark Bella's endeavors,
Wonderful.
and I get to live vicariously through you a little bit. So
Yeah.
we'll be right back.
We'll be right back, everybody.
Can't do a British accent.
Hey man, it's me, the Beatles.
Talking about my mother.
Do I?
Yeah.
Or don't I? Or don't know if
You
I
have
do
such
or
a
not.
fucking gross ghetto British accent.
I
That's
know.
like, do I? Oh yeah.
Talking about me mother.
I ain't got no fucking teeth. Yeah.
Teacher? I
Yeah.
don't know me times tables, teacher.
What?
Are you disrespecting me? You can't. I slur my words.
Bruv. Bruv.
Hey,
I
bruv.
Yeah, I
Stop.
bruv.
Stop it.
That was a big one when I was over there. They do call you bruv a lot.
Yeah,
You
I
fucking
love that.
slag, yeah?
Hey, bruv.
I bruv.
Fucking slog.
Fucking cunt, you slag.
I love the word slag.
Yeah, it's so
funny.
good.
Slag bid.
All right. Those are British impersonations. Welcome back to British or Britain.
British or Britain?
I don't know, man. Hey, I'm not an improviser.
Can
okay?
you hear the difference? I certainly can.
Perfect.
One of us is British.
One of us is Britain.
Well, one of us is literally the land.
I am the nation of Britain.
Welcome back to part 2. We went into some fun stuff with Dark Bella. She's a nightmare, as you probably know.
Nightmare dressed like a daydream.
I
Burped while I was saying that.
Yeah, that was really
Sorry,
really
Taylor.
daydreamish.
Yeah.
Also, I was just appreciating your sweater. I didn't realize what you had. You got a My Little Pony sweater on, which is hilarious.
I know. It's my brother's. Sorry, I accidentally took it.
Don't out him like that. That's
Is he a brony?
Is he a brony?
No, I think he wishes. But I know it's one of his favorite sweaters. I realized after I took it, so make sure he doesn't see this.
Yeah.
Well, if you are watching, like and subscribe.
Yeah.
Please,
God.
Please.
Please, God. Yeah, so you said you had another story. You said it came in 2 parts, though.
Yeah, well, it's just like
This
it's the event of Nuit Blanche, and
How long ago? Are you an adult? Or
yes.
Are you like a okay.
One of them I'm 18, the other one I'm 20, 21.
Is it Dark Bella coming out to play
It's
again?
like it wasn't too much Dark Bella. Like one of them is like live or doesn't care whether she lives or
Right.
dies. The other one is just the cops were involved.
Okay, I can't wait.
I'll
I
do
can't
it in
wait.
chronological order
All
for
right.
you.
All right, yeah, lay it down for me.
So like Nuit Blanche in Toronto, like as a teenager, it's like the big thing where like everyone. All the high schools goes to like Dundas Square or whatever, and so I was 18, and it's like always October 1st, always partying, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I was 18, I was like, I'm not in high school anymore. I don't really want to go to Dundas Square. Like I'll find something else to do because it's like I feel creepy doing that.
Okay.
So I'm walking, but I also like no one's I know is still in Toronto because everyone's at school, right?
Right.
And I'm still like getting to know like people from my school. So I'm like, okay, I finished work. And I remember like having a box of wine.
Sorry, so how old are you at this point?
I'm 18.
18, okay.
I'm 18. It was like I turned 18 this summer, and so I had like a box of wine. I'm like, I'm just gonna have a chill night. Maybe I'll go see some art, find someone around. So I walked from like King and Spadina, and I was like walking. I was like, hey, and my friend called me. She's like, hey, where are you? And I'm like, I'm walking. And she's like, come to Dundas Square. I was like, okay.
Give me a reason, bitch.
Give me a reason. I'm there. So I walked to Dundas Square. And I'm not drunk, but everyone around when I get there, like it's a couple of my like more acquaintance friends from high school,
Right,
and I'm like, everyone's drunk. I'm like, okay, I need to get on this level. So I ran into my friend from high school, and she's like, here, let's go chug this bottle of wine, a fucking huge bottle of like red wine, like a Jackson Triggs 2-liter.
Normal kids just do shots.
I know.
Like,
I know.
Hey, you want to do what 6 shots will do to us in a whole bottle
I
though
know.
instead? Like what?
Horrific.
No.
So then I remember we went to like into the washroom in the Eaton Center and like chugged this wine so fast. I come out and I run into this like childhood friend of my neighborhood who is like an adult now, and he's like, hey, I have some MDMA.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
Ruh-roh.
Whatever. He's like, it's $5. So I should have been like, that's not proper M.
Yeah. What the fuck? You give me meth? What is
yeah,
this?
it was
Okay.
something because I took it and then blackout. And then I just remember like my friends pushing me into an Uber in Dundas Square. And I'm just like, oh. I'm like, and
you
that's-
push them out, they push you in.
Yeah, that's all I remember. So then I get home. The next thing I know, my mom's waking me up. It's like 6 a.m. She's like, Bella, you gotta go to work. I had to work at like 7:30. And we're in Etobicoke, and it's at King and Spadina.
Wine and MDMA wine
Yeah.
hangover at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
And you got to go to work, and that's not a nice commute.
Oh,
what
it's
you just
not.
said.
So you had to go to Etobicoke.
I was in
You were in
Etobicoke,
Etobicoke. You had to go to King's
and I had
Spadina.
to go to King's Spadina, and
Woof. That's like a solid hour and a half.
Yeah.
oh, for sure. And I'm like, I would have definitely slept through my shift, right? And I'm like, how do you even know? And I'm like, but I'm so wasted still, like, so I'm like
course.
laughing. I'm like, okay. She like literally, I'm covered in wine, so she's like helping me take off my clothes. She's like putting my naked body into the shower and letting cold shower hit me, and I'm like this. She's being so nice. Well, my mom is like, I've always, like, she knew I was like a drinker during high school, so she would never like, she knew how I could do it on my own.
Yeah.
But there's something going on because she was being so like nice and like catering to me, and she's like, I'm driving you to work. I'm like, thanks, like honestly. And so I'm sitting at the breakfast table. I have a cup of coffee. She's making me eggs and bacon. I'm like, is it my fucking birthday?
Yeah,
or
like what's
something?
going on?
And then finally I'm like, Mom, do you know when I got home last night? And then it's like a switch came on. She's like, oh, so you don't remember me fucking picking you up from the fucking police station last night?
Oh shit!
And I'm like, what? I'm like, no.
She says Dark Bella doesn't come to play, but you wind up at a cop shop
And you
high
don't
on
remember.
MDMA
I
and
know,
red wine.
I know, and I literally, but I remember then a flash became before my eyes of me in like a white room with a cop next to me, and she's like, "We're calling your mom," and I'm like, "You don't do that. She works hard. Don't fucking call my mom." I was like, "Don't fucking call her. You're being rude as fuck right now." And they're like laughing at me, and then
they're like laughing at
they're
me.
literally dying.
I would too, though. What do you do in that
I
situation?
know. I'm
Okay,
like-
kid, right
I'm like,
on.
you're being I said you're being disrespectful. I said that to a cop, and I'm in the drunk tank, and then I'm like, what? She's like, I literally got a call at 3 a.m. from the cops because an Uber driver couldn't wake you up, and so when he got to our house, so he couldn't wake you up. He thought you were fucking dead, so he dropped you off at the police station a couple blocks away, and they resuscitated you somehow, and then you were just in the drunk tank, and then I had to come get you, and I was like, I literally had no recollection of that, and then I went to work, chugged 2 Red Bulls because I had gotten home at like 4 a.m.
Oh God, that's a heart attack.
And I went to I remember like being at work, and I was like, oh my God, I have to pee. So I'm like tweaking. I'm still tweaking. I'm also Red Bull
well,
too.
because I don't even think you've probably come down properly off the
No, I
MDMA,
have-
so
I
it's
have-
like you're now going through the bad phase of it, where
For
you're like,
sure, where you're coming down, and then I'm also like Red
Sweating.
Bull, which is like a drug in itself, an
Yeah.
upper in itself. And so I'm like, oh my God, I have to go pee. And I'm like running to the washroom, and at fucking the Bulk Barn at King and Spadina, I pissed myself. Standing up, and I remember like started crying.
Oh, fuck.
I started crying, and I was like, I remember being like, I need to go home. I need to go. My supervisor was really nice, and she was like, yeah, you definitely should not have come in today.
Hey, you pissed yourself. Absolutely
At
go
work,
home.
Take a day.
Take a day off,
It was
little
like
buddy.
someone was in there. I think a customer, because it was like locked, and I was like, oh my God. And then it just came out. I hadn't pissed myself since I was like 4.
Yeah,
And I was just like, holy shit. So yeah, that was like my.
Hey, if you ain't pissing yourself from Nuit Blanche, are you even partying?
You're
right?
not
Yeah.
partying.
You don't care about the art.
Yeah.
I'm just here to get pissed drunk.
I've truly never. It's always something. I've never seen the art at Nuit Blanche. Ever.
Oh no, it's terrible.
You
It's
never
like,
miss much.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like the most fucking lame
here's
shit.
a couple
Here's
painted
there.
garbage cans. They're white now. What do you think? Like, fuck off. You're
What
not
does
an
this
artist. Shut
mean
up.
to you?
Yeah.
You know what this means to me is it's nothing. It's garbage. Shut up.
You wasted 2 garbage cans.
Yeah.
Could have put yourself in there.
Next time, put yourself in there. Oi!
Honestly, New York would never have a Nuit Blanche. Actually, they'd probably have one all the time. But yeah, that was my one part, and then 2 years later, are you ready for the next
Is it
one?
Nuit Blanche?
Nuit Blanche
Yeah.
again. Every year there's something fucked, like without fail.
I love this because
So
I met my girlfriend of many years at Nuit Blanche, so I'm hoping this was like the same one. And I'm stumbling around drunk trying to make someone fall in love with me, and you're just like,
And you're stumbling by, you get to make eye contact, and you're like, yeah. And she's like,
I'm literally getting
Jabba the Hutt.
literally like foaming at the mouth.
Yeah, it's like, a raccoon bit her. She's got rabies, 100%. Like, what the fuck?
Steer away. She's covered in blood.
Yeah.
Oh, also that night, I woke up the next day, found a cob of corn half eaten with blood covered in it. In my bed though, like I just like
Whoa.
rolled over and I was like, "What the fuck is that thing stabbing me?" And it was only a
just a
cob of corn covered in blood, probably from my
That's just a
teeth.
bloody corn.
Yeah.
it's October 1st, sweet corns and
Yeah,
cheese.
y'all
Yeah.
got any blood here?
And,
I'm
I
hungry.
definitely don't floss enough to make it out clean.
What a nightmare.
Oh God, I feel so bad. For
Okay,
myself
so this is 2 years. So what I'm hearing is you had 1 year where you were solid. 2 years later, 1 year was okay for you at Nuit Blanche.
I just like when I don't go, it's okay.
Yeah. Oh, you just.
But I was like, I had something else, so I didn't go. But no, when I don't go, yeah, no. This time, so every year, every time I go, something fucked happens. So this was like 2.
Have you considered drinking less?
No. I always do, but I don't end up doing
it doesn't
it.
end up. Yeah, I know that one.
But I think it was I was 21. I went to Nuit Blanche and obviously took a cap of Molly. Which the thing is, it's weird. I don't like do Molly. Like I do it once every like 3 years. So
Well, there's a big event.
Because it's like it's fun to like you feel great, but then the 10-20 minutes of coming down is like so horrible to me that it's just not worth it when I weigh out the pros and cons.
Hard drugs in general are never worth it.
Oh, they're never. They never are.
It's just the worst. And your whole day, your whole like 3 days after
Yeah,
the
because
shot.
you're just dopamine is just depleted, and I just can't take it. I like feeling.
That's why you
good
guys
when I
got to
wake up.
keep doing the hard drug.
Yeah, I know.
You just maintain that high.
You gotta
Do
let
it for
it
like
roll.
a couple of years, and then by the time you're like done, like it's okay if you don't have any serotonin left in your body, but you had these good 3 years. you know?
Yeah, lots of fun for a while.
Basically in the come down for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Literally, that's literally what I imagine.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this year I was like, okay, I'm gonna party. So I'm like going around. I'm going to these cool like installations, but it's literally just like a techno club, but it takes some place inside of like a grocery store. Like that was pretty cool, right?
Okay.
That's some art,
That's
baby.
some art.
That's
And I'm just-
art.
I'm like on now. I'm proceedingly getting more fucked up, and then I end up at my friend's house.
Are you on wine again, or what are you drinking this time?
I think I was drinking like gin, straight gin, with some lime that I stuck on.
Whew.
Yeah.
That's sociopathic, man. Even I don't
know.
do that.
That's
That's
a stiff,
fucked up.
That's a stiff drink.
I
That's
know.
disgusting.
I know.
Just drinking pine needles and lime.
Yeah.
I know. Kind of like it's Christmas.
Yeah, I get.
Yeah.
I don't mind. Yeah, I don't hate gin, but honestly, after like 2 shots of it, I'm like.
Oh, you know, it's pretty fun. I love a gin and tonic, so I thought that would emulate it. But
That's
it's
not
like
the same thing.
Forcing it down my throat.
Gin
Not
and
the
tonics
same.
are like that's juice.
That's
you know?
literally
It's
juice.
like-
This is
yeah.
like I thought I could just recreate this with a fucking
Watered
lime.
down gin is delicious. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Once you have it straight.
So yeah, I was definitely like on one. I was absolutely on one. So
One was over there. I was on.
I
it.
was on it. Ended up at my friend's house at like 6 in the morning, and God, I'm really incriminating myself with all these little. I swear I don't do drugs very often, but you know when these nights out, you got to do it. So then I thought I was like, okay, I'm gonna come down soon. And I was like,
So this is after the night's events. Have
yeah,
kind
I've
of
just been
already
partying.
happened. Okay,
I remember
you're
like just like I got into a couple like dance offs. Like I did this thing at this point where I would love to death drop, like which is like
That's
it's like,
wild. You can do that?
yeah, I think when I'm drunk I can do it, but it's really just me like literally bending my leg, almost breaking it, and just throwing my back
Like
onto
the
floor.
RuPaul style.
The RuPaul style.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, at Sneaky D's, I'm known for it.
Oh my God.
Before getting kicked out,
If you ever get known for something at Sneaky D's, my
it's
God.
me throwing my body onto the ground, hopefully not breaking anything.
Yeah.
That's
So,
so crazy you do that.
I know it's Liv does not care
Yeah, it
whether
doesn't
she's
give
like
a
I
shit.
love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's actually so funny. So then it's like 6 in the morning. I'm literally like spitting like bars. We're freestyling.
I'm sorry, you were spitting bars?
Yeah,
Was it
spitting
good
bar-
though?
No, it was horrible. I'm
Okay,
like,
all right.
Here's the thing. I was like, and then I fuck your mom, but then I fucked your dad. And I'm like, bitch. And they're like, and it's like, yeah.
Like, okay, didn't rhyme, but
And,
that's okay.
and like this eye, you know.
Oh,
my
I know
dead
the
eye-
drunk eye.
My drunk eye is like it's where my eyelid just stops working.
Yeah.
And so
And it
it's just,
starts
like,
twitching,
It starts
kind of.
twitching, and I'm like,
Yeah.
it's like this. It's like, and I'm trying to keep my eyes open, but I
Well,
can't.
you,
see it.
you physically don't have the willpower or the being to keep your eyes open.
Yeah, it's
Like,
actually like this. This eye just drops. This one's like wide up.
It's
and-
one of my favorite things to see. Like
Yeah.
when I look across the table, because whenever we'd go out after work or whatever, drinking or whatever, and you know I'll be talking to some people, and I remember even multiple times being like, I wonder how Bella's doing because like she hasn't fucked with me in a while. I was like, is she drunk? And then I look over and I see you looking at me going, and I'm like, uh-oh,
Fuck you, Isaac.
here we go. Yeah, that's always like, fuck yeah, Isaac.
I'm like,
Go get a couple beers. We're gonna chug right now.
like
Alright.
spitting everywhere.
Yeah.
I
Oh
can't-
my God. Yeah. COVID. Drunk Bella during COVID. What a nightmare. Spitting everywhere.
Yeah,
on
truly
that.
like a weapon. So
Yeah.
that's why I'm not drinking during COVID because I'm not trying to kill anyone.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're rapping, and then I'm like, they're like, here, hand me a couple lines of something. I think it's Coke. take us, and I'm like, oh my god, my fucking face. I'm like, oh my god.
You snoot M?
It was M, and I was like, it feels like, I was like, what the fuck was that?
Oh, that shit
and it's like,
hurts.
oh, it was like M. I was like, oh my god, what the fuck did I just do
Oh,
that? I'm like, I thought it
man.
was, so then I'm like, and then I'm like, I'm talking to this guy I've been talking to for a bit. I'm like, tonight's the night I'm gonna finally go over there.
Yeah.
And so I'm with my friend Kayla again, and she's staying at my apartment. And I have my friend Sophie at my apartment, and then my roommate Jordan, right? And then so I'm like, okay, Kayla, the guy that I'm going to see is like 2 blocks south of my apartment. So I'm like, Kayla, you go home. I'm gonna go over there. I'll be back in an hour. Just gotta do my thing.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay.
Mommy needs her juice.
Yeah. 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 So then I go there. Oh god, I just remember like being in this dark room with this guy, and we're watching Adventure Time, and I'm like,
Oh,
yeah.
Nothing gets you more in the mood than
Yikes.
Adventure
No, and
Time,
I'm like,
baby.
I'm
Yikes.
literally, like sitting there, I'm like
Yeah.
watching, I'm like, I'm like trying to laugh. I'm like, I don't understand what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, that's like like if you're bringing over a lady, like
Yeah.
maybe fucking turn off the
I
Adventure
know.
Time is you smoke weed with your buddy and you
And you
watch
watch
Adventure
it.
Time
Yeah.
together. If you're watching something with somebody that you're trying to
Yeah, and I'm like,
perform cunnilingus on, it's,
for sure.
Yeah, what a weird pick.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after a while, finally, it's like, okay, we get to it. I think I fall asleep at some point. Like,
Oh no.
Yeah, so I fall
Oh,
asleep, and I wake up at 1 p.m. I like jerk awake
At this guy's house
at
still.
this guy's house, and I'm like,
I'm
"What?"
honestly good for you for still having sex with him after having Adventure Time.
I know. I
would've
honestly,
been like,
she doesn't
see
give
ya.
a shit whether she lives or dies, you know.
All right.
So then I wake up, and I'm like, it's 1 p.m. And the thing about me is like I can go to bed at like 8 a.m. Without fail, I'll always wake up at 11, or I'll wake up like periodically because I'm
Yeah.
like, you know, like
Your body kind of jumps open, jumps
up.
awake.
Yeah, it's like still you can't get a good night's sleep.
yeah.
But I'm like dead out like a rock. I wake up, and then this guy is just like watching Adventure Time again. He looks back at me and he's like
Aw.
smiling, and then
Yo,
I'm like,
this put you in the mood last night, you
I
monster.
know.
Or
And
what?
I'm like, hey, I really have to go by, and then I remember like getting my shit, and then I'm like checking my phone. I let my phone charge for like 5 minutes, and then I take it off, and I'm walking out, and I just see like 50 missed calls. I'm like reading the messages.
Oh,
It's
no.
Jordan, it's Sophie, and it's Kayla. They're like, where the fuck are you? Are we about to call the cops?
Yeah.
Da da da. I look at my mom's like, hey, it's your dad's. My dad's dead. Your dad's birthday today. You're supposed to be at the gravesite right now. We're waiting for you.
Oh, fuck.
I know. I'm like, oh my god, what the fuck is going on? And then I'm like, I finally get home. I can't
Just
even.
the perfect storm, eh? Like everything.
Oh my god.
I know, and I get home, and I'm like, and then they're all like huddled around each other, just like, oh my god, we're about to call your mom and like call the cops. Like we were so nervous because my phone was like dead, but they're like, I'm like, sorry.
You know, Derek Balla. I know the best part is too because like I feel like definitely a part of them deep down they trust your ability to just somehow manage your way
Yeah.
out of these situations. Because if that had been any other friend,
Oh yeah.
I'm going over to some random dude's house, like, and you don't respond, you don't pick up anything, they for sure would have called the guys. We're like,
Oh, for
Bella will
sure.
come out of this somehow.
For sure.
Like,
They were like, at one point, they were like, okay, they checked my location on Find My Friends. This is like an hour before I actually came home.
Yeah.
And the three of them who like, you know, they're friends, but like I'm more of the connector.
You're the glue
them.
between those friends. Yeah, yeah.
So
So they're all just like, hey.
they're like, let's go
what's
look for Bella, I guess.
Yeah.
So they see me, and it's like close by. It's like 2 blocks away. But my location says I'm in an apartment building, but it says I'm in the dumpsters of the apartment building. So they're literally.
up? She got chopped up
Yeah.
and thrown in the dumpster.
They're literally
Yeah.
like, looking for clues. So they're like literally like Jordan's like hoisting up Sophie on her shoulders, and Sophie's like digging through these trash cans.
Worst detectives ever, by the sounds of it.
And like Kayla's like
But also, really
supervising.
good friends.
Yeah,
Really
great
good.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
wow, they
Fuck,
literally
man.
looked in the dumpster.
My friends
for
would have
me.
been like, I don't know, he'll show up when he fucking shows up.
I
I'm not
know.
looking at the garbage for him.
Dibs on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
What? He's got a big TV. Can I have that?
Yeah, if he doesn't come back.
Yeah.
But yeah, then apparently like Jordan's boss walked by as Jordan's like looking through these dumpsters, and he's like, "Hey,
you okay?"
Jordan, like, what are you doing?" And she goes, just looking for my friend."
That's exactly how she sounds
I
too.
know.
It's so funny, just like so innocent.
She's
Sweet.
like, "Just looking for my friend," like so earnest.
just looking for my friend.
I'm like, I would have been like, "Oh, I think I've
I don't know. Like, what do we do? What do
yeah, like what are we supposed to like? Okay, let's make a day out of it. Let's go look for our friend in the
I wish
dumpster.
that brought them together a little bit more.
I think they did. I think they did. And it was like really fun. And then, But yeah, that was like a two-parter Nuit Blanche just to show like it never goes well. Nuit Blanche and me are like a cursed combination.
So did you end up making it to your dad's grave on time? Or?
No.
How did mom take that?
She was like, yeah, it's fine.
Okay, all right.
She was like, I figured it was Nuit Blanche. I'm just happy you didn't end up dead this time.
I was just happy I didn't get a call at 4 a.m. to pick you up at a cop shop. Like
I know. I came. I was like, hey guys, and I'm like, truly like I look like I look like Momo.
Well, and also
It's
nightmare.
like something about me was just like Momo. I was like,
Also,
hey.
sober Bella is much different than dark Bella. Like sober Bella is like a very like kind of almost quiet, like, hey, I'm good.
Yeah,
like,
I'm very
So it's like
polite.
it's so weird to like see that and be like, who is this person?
I know,
Like,
it's crazy.
Hi, I'm sorry about all of that. You know, give her a couple of drinks.
Yeah. You know what I was thinking about this yesterday. I was like, you know what? I think that a merger between the two as one whole entity could be very valuable to me. I know that sounds like psychopathic.
You need a little diplomacy up there.
Yeah, I want to like live. I kind of want to have that kind of anarchist.
Yeah, you like it. You live for it.
I live for it. I live for the stories, but I don't know what happens when I'm there.
Yeah. That's the scary part too.
Yeah.
Like,
You got to put on a body cam. Like,
I know. I would love to do that. Oh God, I have videos of
yeah,
like
actually,
yelling.
that would be a pretty good next
Pretty good
Nuit
show,
Blanche,
yeah.
knowing that you're just gonna be a fucking nightmare. You should document the whole thing.
Oh, for sure.
put a little GPS tracker on you too.
Yeah,
just to be
I have
safe.
like riot gear and just like kind of like let's see what happens.
Yeah, you should start playing it and they'll be like, okay, so like, tell your friends like, hey, this is the tracker. You'll have to look because I'm gonna disappear.
Yeah, I'm gonna sprint away from you.
At some point,
Yeah.
I'm going to disappear.
Oh, so funny. But yeah, they're definitely angels for looking for me in the trash.
Yeah, good friends.
I do have a
totally.
great support system. I'm happy that I have good friends when I'm not Dark Bella that they'll take care of Dark Bella.
Yeah, because that's another thing too. Because like, not to take it like too serious, but when you're getting that fucked up consistently, if you don't have those
Oh.
friends that care about you, who
Yeah,
knows
you don't
what
even-
you want?
Yeah.
done,
You don't even
realize what you're
happens
doing.
to you, like, and what creepy ass dude gets a hold of you? You know, like it's just
Yeah.
like all these bizarre things. So. Thank God that there is these people that are genuinely looking out and being like,
For
where
sure.
the fuck was she? Where did she go? Like I said, because a lot of people would have been like, I don't know, she's a full grown person. She can take care of herself.
Exactly,
Like,
yeah.
You know, so it's definitely good to have that, especially if you're going to be drinking heavy and doing crazy shit. It's
For
nice
sure.
to have people that are like, hey, let me just double check and make sure you're still alive.
Exactly. Like you just even in life. That's why I think I really gravitate to people who give me like a sense of comfort because comfort's important to me. So that when I'm doing something like that, I know they're gonna protect me and comfort me.
Yeah, just use your friends.
Yeah, I just truly use them. I'm a user. What can I say?
Hey, I do it too. Where I'm like I'll get like a level of comfort too, where I'm like, okay, these people are around. All right, this is okay. I can get out of hand. Like I can get crazy, but
Yeah. Well, Jordan like even told me once. She's like, honestly, I kind of like taking care of you when you're like that. And I'm like, why? She's like, it just gives me a sense of purpose at a party. It just like.
There's always that one friend who's just like
Yeah.
steps up, and
Lives
is like,
for it.
She lives for
Okay,
it.
get the
Yeah.
oatmeal boiling, lay them down, pillow under the head. Got
Exactly,
everything
yeah,
figured
literally.
out.
And those are always the
Yeah.
best friends too.
Yeah.
You're like you wake up in a nice warm bed, you don't remember anything, and you're like you're there, you have your pillow, somebody's put a glass of water beside you, like all these things, and you're like, who's this
Yeah.
sweet angel? And sometimes you don't even know what house you're in, then your one friend walks in the door like, hey buddy, how you doing? You're like, oh, I'm here.
Well, it's
thank
like it's
God."
never a
Like,
dude.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
never a dude. I've
It's-
never known a dude who's like that. Who's like,
Who's like, we'll take. Yeah, no.
oh,
Like,
you're getting sick. Want me to hold your hair?
Yeah.
buddy?
Just like just slap you on the back of your head.
Get the fuck out of my bed.
Yeah.
Actually, one time that did happen with my old buddy. I had an old friend that we knew each other in elementary school. We kind of stopped talking. We didn't hang out that much, but we still stayed somewhat connected through Facebook and whatnot. And then my buddy married his sister. And then the one time we were all crashing at their place, and I didn't realize that he was going to be coming home. So we were crashing at his parents' house where he was living and where she grew up. And I got fucking hammered, and like I woke up in his bed, and I look over, and I just see this absolute lovely man sleeping on the couch beside me, and I was like,
Uh-oh,
"You let me stay in your bed? Like, if that were me, I would have been like, hey, asshat, get the fuck out. You can sleep
That's
on the
so
couch." Like,
That's so
man.
funny.
and it was like not a very long, nice couch. Like his legs are hanging over the side. It wasn't comfortable, and he was like, "Oh man, don't worry." And I was like, "You're awesome. Thank you so much."
It's so funny because with girls, it's like that's always like we're just like okay, we'll sleep on the couch. Like it's more gentle or like oh, I wouldn't wake her up. You know?
Yeah. No, 100%. Like any of my buddies, if you're sleeping in their bed or whatever, they will slap your neck or your face and be like, "Dude, hey, this is mine.
Yeah.
Go
get the
away."
fuck-
Yeah.
Like the bed is sacred.
Yeah.
It's so funny because like a month, like my last big bender before quarantine was like the COVID hit. Like I got so belligerent, and I was like, I ended up going to like the house of fucking
Lancaster?
Yeah, I went to
Yeah.
there. I went
You're the
there.
second person in our
yeah.
podcast
Really?
that's had a crazy night there.
It was a Duffy's night.
Were you at the one? Sorry to cut you off. Were you at the one bluerish, or were you in Etobicoke?
Across from
Okay.
Duffy's. Yeah, 'cause I was like
We're
right
hitting
at
all
home.
locations on the show.
yeah.
He was in Etobicoke.
How's the
Yeah.
Lancasters? Just sponsor us.
Please, God.
Perfect
Please.
sponsor.
I just remember I was there with my friend from work and his girlfriend, and I remember I just was taken there, we were like, yeah, let's go. And I was like, my first time at a strip club, and there was just one really nice stripper there. We were the only ones there. It was a Monday night, and I remember they gave us, we all wanted gin and tonic, so I didn't realize they gave us a big thing of gin and a big thing of tonic, and I just started chugging one of them, and it was straight gin. I ended up vomiting all over myself, and my friend Chris was like, oh wait,
You put that back in your mouth.
He was like, oh, and I was like, thanks. And I remember and then my other friends comedian friends were still at Duffy's. They didn't even know where I went.
Yeah.
And I came back out and with Zach, and Jordan's at home, and so he's like, hey, do you want to go home? And I'm like, yeah, but I want to go to Jerk King right now. I ended up spending $20 at Jerk King. I don't know how I do that. It's the cheapest food in Toronto.
Cheap.
I know. And I'm walking back. I'm just babbling. I'm Zach's pretty sober. And then I get home, and apparently Jordan came out of her room, and Zach's in the kitchen fixing something. Yeah. And then she's like, where's Bella? And he's like, oh, she's in the living room. Jordan comes out. I'm on my hands and knees, vomiting all over our carpet. I'm like, what the fuck? And I went to wake up the next morning, and Jordan just sends me the sweetest text. She's like, hey, good morning. You threw up all over the carpet, all over your bed. Be careful when you get up, because there's still probably vomit on your carpet in your room. But here's some water for you and some Advil. I was like, wow, what do I do to deserve this?
Oh my God, that's a good friend.
Yeah, that was my roommate. You're going out the window.
Yeah. You're eating the puke off the carpet.
I'm making you clean that up. That was that almost reminds me one time in high school, I got way too out of control for semi-formal dance or something like that. We were at Buddy's house, and I was and I just thought I was king of the world, and I didn't have a real alcohol tolerance yet. And I remember hammering back 9 shots of whiskey in a row, thinking I was the king of shit. And then I had a little Mickey of Silent Sam vodka, which is just disgusting vodka. I cranked that back. This was on 45 minutes. And I was just ruined. I got minor alcohol poisoning for that night.
I've gotten that.
And we were so we were walking down the street, and I was walking to the high school to go to the dance, and I was like, oh, I gotta go use the washroom. And they're literally carrying me, they're holding me up, stumbling down the street. And we had just gotten there to pre-drink, so I go in there and I go into the washroom to go puke. But I'm just so drunk, I just absolutely missed the whole fucking toilet. And it's just all his parents, we're grade 10. This is all of his parents' washrooms, floor,
oh my
everywhere.
God.
And they're like, yo, where's towel? What's he doing? And I'm trying to wipe it up with toilet paper. And I'm slipping it, falling into my own puke. And I was and then my buddy had to literally clean it up after me. And he was so fucking mad. And
that is fun. That's the most grade 10 story
I know. And they were like, we didn't even get to go to the dance because you fucking idiot. You got way too drunk.
Oh, you were that guy.
I was that guy.
You ruined the dance.
I ruined
you ruined
it.
the semi-formal.
No, because I didn't even get in.
Because
I
they
didn't
used
even
to have
get
the
there.
fucking cops at our dances with
They
the
started randomly
breathalyzers
after
and stuff.
Poor got alcohol poisoning and passed out in a snowbank. That was that's what ended up making that happen.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I didn't go to his high school for 2 years. The first 2 I was at a different one, and then I transferred over. And I remember showing up, and I used to go to your dances before I went there. And then I showed up, and they're like, yeah, there's probably not going to be any dances this year. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
The drinking was so rampant at our school.
It was
crazy. And then they were like, well, we're going to stop making it Friday at 8. We're going to make it Thursday at 6 or 7 or whatever, and make it on a school night. So you have to come in the next day,
That doesn't
right?
do shit.
Yeah, I was like, kids will still show up hungover. We don't care.
You're going to class high.
Yeah.
Yeah, we really had an issue there, and fuck it. I think there was a while there where they were doing every 6th kid they were randomly breathalyzing, and I remember being in line for the dances and and then we kind of slip and be like, hey, I'm just gonna slip ahead of you, and you'd go and you put somebody in the 6th spot that you knew
was
kind of a a dorky kid that wasn't gonna be drunk.
That's actually so smart.
Yeah, and they were just happy to be your friend. They were like, yeah, you can butt me, or or I'll go ahead of you. Yeah, they'd be like, oh, because half the time I'd be like, oh, I was like, you want to go ahead of me, buddy? And they'd be like, yeah. I'd be like, woof.
That's actually diabolical.
Yeah.
Diabolical planning to get into this.
Yeah. Oh man, I didn't want to get busted. My parents would have killed me. My dad was hardcore. I was like, as a kid that did so much stupid shit too, I was like, why didn't I ever learn?
Yeah, dude, you're fucking you are so much like Bart Simpson or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Just
You
like
are.
like growing up, like you were always just that Bart Simpson guy.
Yeah, I
It
was looking for
awesome.
trouble. I was always
loved
looking for trouble.
it.
That was like
loved it.
my mom used to get calls from like the vice principal being like, "This is easily the worst student we've ever dealt with," and it was like, and I hold a record for the most suspensions without expulsion.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
And then there was another kid that tried going back, like one of my kind of buddies. He tried going back for his like to finish up grade 12, and because of his association with me, they said no.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and I was
So
like, "That's fucked up. That's fucked up that
did
you're
you
gonna."
have like any teachers that liked you?
Yeah, there was a couple. I
Yeah.
got a well, maybe they didn't like me, but they were polite enough and they understood. Because like I'm not a dumb person, and I think that was like a thing that's like some teachers could see past that shit stain of a kid and be like, "Oh, there's actually a core to this person. There's like
Yeah.
there's a level intellect in there that he's capable of actually voicing a credible opinion or
Yeah.
whatever it was." So there was some teachers that would be like, "Hey, like, what do you think?" Or they like, because I think that's what pissed off a lot of the teachers that hated me too, is because I still got 70s. easy.
Yeah.
it must have been so
Whatever you're
frustrating.
trying.
Yeah, like, and I wouldn't even show up to class half the time. I would have people give me the homework assignments, and then they would tell me when the test days are, and I'd show up for those days, and they'd be like, "You somehow made it, huh?" Like,
One of my
like,
one of my favorite memories of high school, Isaac, is the whole school's down in the assembly room or the fucking gym, and you know when someone does really good in their grades,
Yeah.
so they'll be like, Kyle blah blah blah, come up, 80 honors, and so every name. Isaac would be sitting there, and every name they'd call, Isaac just stands up, sitting right at the front, perfectly.
I always
You
made
knew
it
that,
sure, yeah.
sitting right at the front. Isaac just go up, me, me,
Every
me?
time?
And he's every class
Oh
until
my
the
God.
principal comes up and sits beside you. Or and
Oh
then
my
Isaac
God.
goes to stand up, and he's like pulling your shirt, trying to get you to sit
yeah, 'cause that
down.
was the thing. They thought they were gonna intimidate me into stop doing my bits, and I was like, "This is what I want. Like, this is the attention that I'm craving."
That's
So they'd be
Yeah, it
like,
was like they were doing improv with you. It's so funny.
It's like, "Hey, I'm this person who's like." Like look, and I'm always looking for looking in front of the whole school,
Yeah.
being like,
And the whole school was like,
"Fuck yeah, you got another
Did you get any like superlatives or whatever when you were in?
What does that mean?
Like best like class clown. Most.
Oh
of the
yeah, I got
kids
class clown.
Oh,
That was
nice.
like the specific
Yeah.
one. Me and Hannah Molson, she was the female class clown. I was the male class clown.
Nice.
I think it was like literally undisputed. On like there was not even
No,
a doubt in
dude,
people's
no.
mind. I would have walked away with that a landslide margin. Like. It wouldn't even have been close.
Yeah.
Like, I used to have like at the beginning of each semester, I used to have kids that would literally come up to me with their schedules and be like, "Do we have any classes together?"
Oh,
'Cause,
that's
like,
awesome.
And then, but that was the thing that ended up making it really hard for me to start doing better in school because I was like, because I genuinely was like, I gotta put on a show. Like I gotta put on a show. I was like, now these kids are expecting. Whenever I do something in class and I wouldn't do anything stupid that day, I was like, fuck. I was like, I haven't gotten any laughs today. I was like, how do I make an asshole of myself? Like it was just so like toxic for me.
Yeah.
Because I live for it and I still do.
Yeah,
I live for that
yeah,
attention.
yeah, I
As you
know.
see with drunk Isaac, he's like. Because I won't do stupid shit when I'm alone. It's like when other people are there and I need that validation, and I'm like, okay.
Let's do
I was
something
like-
fucked
yeah, I
now.
was like, you're gonna laugh because you don't even have to laugh at it as long as you go, holy shit, what are you doing?
Any
Like,
reaction at all,
yeah, and I'm
probably.
like,
I live for
okay,
it. I
yeah.
literally live for it.
I know. That's why I like, yeah.
That's why in like high school, like I would like my first Nuit Blanche I ever went to. I brought a fucking Teletubby suit. I was grade 9, which is humiliating
Yeah.
now that I think about it. But I was like, I just want to be I want to be Toronto famous. I want to
Yeah.
be a legend.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like taking pictures with people, and everyone in my grade was like, all the seniors were like, what the fuck
Yeah,
is
what is
this?
this kid doing?
This is
Yeah.
cool, right?
Yeah.
I used to like go there like and I would go to like Ukrainian festival, which is like the same weekend as Nuit Blanche.
Yeah.
And I'd go there and I'd like the day it'd be on a Friday, so at school I'd be like in English class like writing like a rap and just challenge like a random person, like let's have a rap battle and memorize it and just
Yeah.
spit the bars.
Just
And
love
I'd
it.
always win,
Yeah.
but everyone's like, oh my god! I was like, wow, I really like live for this shit, and that's
Yeah.
probably why I'm in comedy.
I did
now.
that. I did that one time. I did that, but where I just completely 100% quoted Biggie Smalls, but they had no idea. And I was just
Yeah.
like, and I was just quoting dead wrong at them,
Like
and they were like,
Sarnia?
yeah, and I was like, just fucking going at them, and they were like, yo, shit, like the
Whoa.
one buddy was like, that's actually dope, and I was like, yeah,
What's
I
that
came
sound,
up with
hip-hop?
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
What the hell are you now sounding listening to?
That does not sound like Dirk Bentley to me.
That's like poetry with a beat.
Take your fast talking to the next town. buddy.
Hey, buddy, there ain't enough room in here for both of us.
I
That was the
don't-
funny thing, though. Like in the small community, you either have the hardcore rednecks or like the hardcore gangster wannabes. It was like,
Yeah.
and all
I
white,
went through that
100%
phase when I was
white,
a
and it
little
was
kid.
like,
I
yeah.
fucking, I was like, I'm gonna be a fucking famous MC, mom.
Yeah.
It's happening.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I have like my original recordings when I was in like grade 3 to 6.
Oh,
this
that's
was a thing.
cute.
I have like a CD cover.
I wanna
It-
hear those.
It's me and,
That
and
is
like a speed.
awesome.
And I used to take I'd take pop songs and I'd speed them up. and then I would say it's like a squirrel band, and that's how it was
An Alvin the
That's so
Chipmunks thing.
funny.
I was so fucking
That is
cool.
so fucking
You were
cool.
It's
lame.
painful how chill I was.
You were so
dude.
cool. Your MSN was called "Take the Power Back."
Hey, dude, Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah,
hey,
man,
you're
I
so
know.
cool. You
I
got
know,
that
I got
tattooed
it.
on you.
Yeah. I know. That was not "Take the Power Back." That's "Angry as a Gift."
Oh, that's so funny.
As cheesy.
Yeah, pretty like not pretty rough.
Yeah.
Pretty rough. That's a rough one.
I know.
dude.
I didn't outgrow that phase. Everybody
Yeah,
else
that's
did.
so
I was
funny,
like-
man.
I was like,
Like-
I just did it. I was like, I can still because I was supposed to see them this year without even the COVID, and just like thinking about it, sometimes I want to cry. Like I'm
I
like, man,
love
I'm
it.
so excited. Like you.
Yeah, it's so weird how you love music so much more than me sometimes, and I
you
love comedy
so
way
much
more than you.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes, though.
Yeah, that's how it
You
works.
guys can
how it
pick each
works.
other's brains.
Yeah. Well, we do too much already.
Yeah. That's like that Oshawa like gangster like white person aesthetic is like so funny to me, like with the Cookie Monster snapback.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
like
yeah.
the pajamas and like my friend's going as Oshawa for Halloween this year. Just
Oh,
as
that's gonna be
Oshawa.
good.
I
she's
love
got
it.
a
I
Cookie
love
Monster
That's
Snapchat.
really funny.
Ugh.
That's so. Well, I don't know, Ed. What do you think? Like, we got a scumbag or a scoundrel on our
I was
hands
really hoping
here.
you'd be a scumbag, but you're a scoundrel.
Yeah,
I
I
can't.
think-
I can't throw you under the
I
bus.
think you're just straight up like a drunk fuck. Man.
Maybe
think
Dark
I am.
Bell is a little bit of a scumbag.
I think she's a scumbag, but through and through, I think I'm more of a scoundrel.
Dark Bell is a scumbag with scoundrel intentions.
exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like she doesn't realize what she's doing is that fucked up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. I think it's because I don't think I'm a scumbag. I'm more of a scoundrel.
Yeah.
But when Dark Bella comes out, she thinks she's a scoundrel, but she's a fucking scumbag.
Yeah. I think that's the first time we've had a scumbag with scoundrel intentions.
Ooh.
Yeah,
That's our
you're the
first
closest thing we've had to a scumbag on the show.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. I
Yeah,
like
'cause everybody
that.
else- everybody's like, oh, this is so fucked up. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm always like, I did worse.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's why I'm like, I don't want to be too harsh because if I call you a scumbag, by what association? But what the fuck am I now? Like, I'm on a whole different planet. Like, that's a nightmare.
I would love to see like a real through and through scumbag and just see what that looks like.
We're searching. We're gonna find him.
We'll find somebody that is just absolutely.
I'll be
a fucking
watching.
nightmare.
I'll be
Yeah,
watching.
you better be. Anyways, guys, I think that takes us to the end of the episode. That was a great episode.
Thanks for
Yes,
having me.
thank you
guys.
so much
That
for
was
coming
really
on.
Fun. That was awesome.
I always love talking about Dark Bella, and even better drinking with her because she is fucked. Hey, follow her on Instagram, Facebook,
Yes,
Isabella
please.
Campbell. Are we doing? I don't think we've done that yet, where we have like a promotion for them. Yeah, but we should start doing that.
Yeah, we'll
too.
put that in.
Yeah, we'll put that in.
Put
Sneak
that in
your
one of the
Instagram
little,
and handles and stuff
the-
like
That
that.
sounds
Yeah.
good.
You might get one follower out of it, if that.
One follower
Um,
is plenty.
Yeah, yeah.
My low count.
All right, cool, man. Thanks for tuning
Thanks
in.
for
and
having me. That
we'll
was
see you
awesome.
next week.
Next week.